Abramovich owns a yacht that's longer than a football field and costs nearly $700 million. But why do people say his backup ships are even crazier? What do these secret boats hide, and who really gets to ride on them? Old Chelsea players and superfans still bring them up. What is so wild about these 6 yachts? We're about to count them down. The first one isn't the biggest, it's the one that set the tone. Speed comes first, then the secrets start. Number 6, Susuro, 46 knots. That's the speed Susuro hits, and for a yacht it's like strapping a rocket to a fancy hotel. Most big boats cruise slow and steady, but Susuro is different. This 49.5-meter Feadship came out in 1998, and for Abramovich it wasn't just a shiny new toy. It was his very first serious yacht, the one that started it all. That year set the pattern for everything that followed. Speed, noise, and power you don't even have to talk about. But who needs a yacht that fast? Think about what it's like on most super yachts. Calm water, white decks, slow motion. Now picture a blur flying by. Susuro uses both diesel and turbine engines together, and when you put them at full blast, you get 15,000 horsepower. That's wild energy. The throttle isn't just for show, it brings a wild ride every time, and there's no way to relax when everything is shaking. Inside, Susuro feels small for Abramovich. 10 to 12 guests, 5 cabins, and a crew of 12 just to keep things running smoothly. That's a lot of crew for a boat this size. Why? Because going fast breaks things. There's more noise, more rattling, and every ride means something might need fixing. Ever wonder what it takes to keep a fast yacht under control? It's non-stop work behind the scenes, not just fun on deck. But here's the part that gets weird. Most people sell their first big yacht and never look back. Not Abramovich. With Susuro, things got fuzzy. Registration records kept changing. Company names swapped in and out. And if you tried to follow the trail, it looked like someone was trying to blur it, not clear it up. Officially, the boat moved on. But in real life, it kept popping up in the same circles with the same rumors, never really leaving the world it started in. That's what happens when your first flex means too much to give up. People barely notice, but Susuro is still the fastest Feadship ever built. That's a world record for a starter yacht. So if you think the next yacht will be just calm and peaceful, get ready, because there's always something sharper hiding under the surface. Number 5, Halo, 57.4 meters, smooth white paint, and a launch year of 2015. Halo looks like floating peace, a spa on the sea. But there's a twist. Why would Abramovich, a billionaire, need a charter yacht on his own private list? It looks open to the public, but nothing about it stays simple for long. When a boat is supposed to be both public and private, everyone starts asking questions. If you get invited onto Halo, the comfort is real. There are 6 suites for up to 12 guests, a big master cabin, beds that turn into twins, a full gym, and a pool on the sun deck. The staff, 14 or 15 people, work non-stop to keep everything perfect. That's a lot of hands for a wellness ship. Ever wonder how much effort it takes to keep people relaxed? Real peace takes a lot of work behind the scenes. Speed is not the main trick here. Halo moves at about 16 knots, and at a slower pace, it can keep going for 5,000 nautical miles. That's an ocean crossing distance, not just island hopping. Who needs a floating spa that can vanish for weeks? Who picks calm so far from shore? These details hint at something more. Halo's design keeps a low profile. Long, flat, with silver white paint that doesn't grab attention. DeVoe and Harrison Eidsgaard made sure of that, but it's odd. A boat that tries to be quiet but ends up in the loudest stories. What's hiding behind all that calm? The word charter sounds like anyone could book a week, but behind the scenes, a maze of companies and hidden deals keeps Halo locked away. So who really gets on board? Nobody outside the inner circle knows for sure. The next yacht won't even pretend to be beautiful. It's a giant floating toolbox, and what's inside matters more than what you see. Number 4, Garçon. 67 meters long and built in 2012, Garçon skips all the yacht glam and gets right to business. It's a Dom and Amel's support yacht. Think of it as a super yacht's giant moving garage. Who needs a workship this big just to follow another yacht around? If you see what Garçon really does, you start to understand billionaire living. Garçon is made for function, not fun. There's a real helicopter pad, commercial size, and an open deck that covers 235 square meters just for toys. But toys here means jet skis, big tenders, even tiny submarines. The main yacht stays spotless, while Garçon drags all the noisy, messy gear behind. Can you imagine a boat whose only job is to carry someone else's fun stuff? The crew is 20 or 21 people, not for luxury service, but for running equipment and moving heavy cargo. That's a lot of hands just to keep the main yacht quiet. Garçon can hit 20 to 25 knots and go 4,500 nautical miles without needing to stop. It's not there for the party, it's there to keep the party running smoothly. Official paperwork once said Abramovich didn't own Garçon, but leaked records and big news outlets tracked it back to him using secret companies from the British Virgin Islands. When rich people hide who really owns a ship, what are they hiding? Garçon isn't just about having extra towels, it's about having a private supply chain wherever you go. Don't forget, Yachts is more than a name. It means this ship was built for tough jobs, not showing off. That sets up the next chapter, because the next yacht is all about wild power, and even after Abramovich sold it, the stories kept rolling in. Number 3, Extasia, 43,000 horsepower. That's the muscle packed into Extasia. 4 diesel engines plus a gas turbine moving an 86-meter yacht at over 30 knots. When Extasia first launched in 2004, it was the largest Feadship ever built. Even after Abramovich sold it in 2009, people couldn't stop talking about what this yacht could do because it went way past what most people even dream of. Step inside Extasia and you find marble bathrooms, Asian-inspired details, and space for 14 guests. But all the fancy stuff fades when you're riding a huge boat that charges over the water faster than most ships can run. Terence Disdale and Devat shaped it to look clean and simple, but Extasia doesn't have to brag. The numbers speak for themselves. What would it feel like standing on deck knowing you're on a boat with warship-level power? Everything changed after Abramovich sold Extasia. People called it his proof-of-concept yacht, where someone finally mixed huge size with wild speed just to see if it could work. Did he want something even bigger, or was this just the start? It left everyone guessing. Here's the detail most people miss. Using a GE gas turbine in a private yacht is super rare. That's military gear on a vacation ship. Why mix hotel-style luxury with fighter jet power? That question tells you everything about Abramovich's mindset. Yachting isn't just about relaxing, it's about making a statement. And that brings us to the next yacht, where the lines between safety and luxury get even more blurry. Power doesn't always mean speed. Sometimes it's about having a plan, having protection, and never being caught off guard. Number 2, Solaris. 139.7 meters. That's how long Solaris stretches across the water. And the price tag? Around $600 million to build. Delivered by Lloyd Werft in 2021, this yacht is over 11,000 gross tons and fits 36 guests and 60 crew. More people than most small hotels. Solaris glides quietly thanks to ABB Azipod electric drives, hitting up to 20 knots. But quiet doesn't mean boring. People called Solaris a floating bunker for a reason. This isn't just style or comfort. People whisper about fortress-level security built into every deck. What kind of life needs that much protection at sea? When yachts start looking like warships, what's the owner worried about? Solaris isn't about sipping drinks in the sun. It's about always having an exit plan, moving between safe places, never staying long, and keeping options open if trouble comes. Those electric drives help it slip from port to port almost silently, making it hard to track. Most people get stuck thinking about the luxury part, but there's a bigger story hiding underneath. What happens when world politics get personal? What does it feel like to live with sanctions or threats hanging over you? Solaris was built for that world, a moving stronghold for someone who can never just relax. While While everyone is watching Solaris, the most famous legend is still out there. The ship that made Abramovich a myth in the yachting world. The last yacht isn't just the biggest, it's the one that turned the ocean into a private fortress. Number 1. Eclipse. 162.5 meters or 533 feet. That's how big Eclipse is, and when it launched in 2010, it was the largest private yacht in the world. Nobody could beat it for 3 whole years. Reports say it cost somewhere between $590 and $700 million to build, and it takes tens of millions every year just to keep running. Can you picture a ship that eats up the budget of a whole company just to stay afloat? Inside, Eclipse can hold 36 guests, 18 cabins, and needs 70 crew members to keep everything running. It's like a floating village. But what really gets people talking is all the extra gear. 2 helipads, a pool that turns into a dance floor, a mini submarine, and more small boats than some marinas. Why pack so much in? Maybe it's about never having to touch land if you don't want to. The real twist is security. People talk about missile detection, anti-paparazzi lasers, bulletproof glass, and fancy stabilizers. It sounds more like a secret fortress than a party ship. Why would you need all that on a yacht? Maybe it's not about parties. Maybe it's about keeping the world far away. Ever since sanctions started hitting Abramovich, Eclipse has been drifting around Turkish ports, never staying still for long. It's still connected to him, still flagged in Bermuda, and still showing up in headlines. And don't forget, the pool can turn into a dance floor, a detail that sums it up. This ship is all about mixing fun with danger, pleasure with protection in one rolling legend. With Eclipse, you see what billionaire yachting has turned into, part palace, part fortress, and always one step ahead of everyone else. The story doesn't really stop, it just keeps getting deeper every time the ship slips out of sight. If any yacht on this list caught you off guard, drop your favorite detail in the comments. For more wild stories and big surprises, just check out what's coming up next. See you soon!